Welcome back to Farming Simulator 2013 with the Rude Man. Yeah, I had somebody ask me why I didn't use courseplay to reseed the cedars on my farm, and basically my answer was that I kind of enjoy using the utility truck that I use. Now, I have other farms that I do use it on, and so I thought what I'd do is, since he's asking, I'll show you how to do it. So I'm on the Idaho farm, but I'm not on my Idaho farm. I'm on an Idaho farm that I just kind of dink around with and use for a testing ground. So first of all, we're going to get us a tractor. And we're going to grab a seeder. Now, if you watched the last tutorial I did, I showed you how to combine two courses to work on the fields for picking up hay and straw. Basically, I'm going to do the same thing. The only difference is I'm going to be working with a seeder instead of a forage wagon. If I can get this articulated tractor to do what I want. Okay, so we grab a seeder. We're going to head off to the farm and fill it up, and then we'll head out to the field. Okay, so here we are at the field. I'm going to use this field because it's fairly close to the farm where my seed and fertilizer is. So the first thing you need to do is to drive up into the field. Now, I do have to remind you, those of you that maybe haven't watched my tutorials or my Let's Play, I do use the developer's version of courseplay. So, and that's version 3.41. It is a developer's build, so it may not look like what you're used to using. The principles are the same at what I'm going to do. So this should work even if you're using a different version of courseplay. So the first thing we need to do is drive out onto the field and open up the piece of equipment. Now, if you're using a version that isn't the developer's version like I'm using, you may have to figure the width of your piece of equipment and manually put it in. So the first thing you do is you're going to select the type of field work we're going to do, which is fertilize and seeding. And we're then going to go to course generation. Now on the developer's build, all I need to do is select the field, and it knows the dimensions of the field. And I'm going to click this little calculator, and that calculates the width of the piece of equipment I'm going to use. And then I am in the northwest corner of the field, and I'm going to be heading south. No, I'm in the northeast, not the northwest. And I'm going to be heading south, and I would need to activate this. Because what this is going to do, it's going to tell me that when I need to refill, or if I'm finished with this field, to return the tractor and piece of equipment to this corner. So that's what that is, and we activated that. And then we're going to generate the course, and then we're going to save the course. I'm going to save it as Seed Field 8. The next thing I'm going to do is to reset the course, now that we have it saved. And I'm going to button up the equipment. I'm going to turn the tractor around. And from this corner right here, I'm going to start a second course. And so this one's I'm going to set this manually, so I'm going to start the course here. And we're going to drive back to get fertilizer and seed. And on this farm, the fertilizer and seed on the farm happens to be inside this shed. So we're going to drive inside this shed, and we're going to pull up to the fertilizer station, and then we're going to pull up to the seed, and then we're going to exit the building. And we're going to head back out to the field. Pretty simple. And when we get back to the field, we're going to stop the course about here. And again, we're going to save it. In this case, just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to call it reseed field 8. Okay, now we have our 2 fields set up, and by the way, both of these are set up under the field work of fertilizer and seeding, both courses. So I'm going to reset this course again, and what I want to do is I want to start the first course first. So we're going to select seed field 8, and just to make sure, I'm going to go back to the course generation, and I'm going to make sure that this is activated, and it is. And then what I'm going to do is then select the reseed course that we made. So now, as you see down here, I have 2 combined courses. With that done, I'm going to go to drive the course, and we'll see what happens. If I did everything correctly, it should go ahead and start seeding the course. When it runs out of either fertilizer or seed, the second course should kick in. So let's just wait and see. And we're back, and our piece of equipment is down to about 3%. When it gets empty, we'll keep our fingers crossed, and if we did everything correctly, the second course should kick in. $60, $50, $40, $30, $20, $10. All right, here we go. It buttons itself up, and it should head back to that corner. And that's why it was important that you had that activated in the first course, that it returned to this corner. When it gets to this corner, it's going to see the second course. And taken off to the farm. I'm going to get in here close so I can see what he's doing. Now what he should do is he should pull up to the fertilizer and know that the fertilizer is not full. That's what should happen. Let's see. Yes, it did. And he's filling the fertilizer. And as soon as that's done, he should pull up a little bit further. Find the seed, and there it goes. He's filling the seed. And he's exiting the building with a full load. And by the way, I had a subscriber that was talking to me about this morning. His name is Nick Sharp, and I want to thank him for reminding me that this is something that not everybody knows how to do. I do this on other farms. I hadn't done it on the Idaho map because I kind of like using that TT truck and making fun of it. But I may start putting these in because I'm getting a little tired of having to run out and refill these all the time. So I may start putting them in on the Idaho map. But I thought I would at least do a tutorial to show you how it's done. And he knows where he left off. And it should continue this way until the field is finished. And there it is. That's all there is to it. It's pretty simple. What I would do is, if I was in this farm or this one and you're back in the lower 40, you're going to have to drive that course all the way back to the farm to get fertilizer. Okay, so what I do is I pick a section of fields and I find a place that's kind of central. And then what I do is I have some mods. Imagine that. And what I have are, it says water tank. It is not a water tank. It's a fertilizer tank. So, and it's placeable. And then I have my seeding pallets that have the seeds on them. I will take these mods and I will place them someplace that's central to my fields that I'm going to be working. And instead of driving all the way back to the farm, they'll only drive up to those pallets and the fertilizer tank, so that they don't have to go all the way back. So what I would do is I would take those two placeable mods, and in this case I might put them right in here someplace for these fields right here. I might do a second one here for these two. These two fields are pretty good size. Well, actually all four of these are. So I might put one right in here someplace in the center so that all of these would come. These two are close to the farm. They can go back to the farm. But these four, they're kind of out in the lower 40. I might put someplace central to that. I would put those two placeable mods, and I would have them go to that location to pick up their seed and their fertilizer. That's the only thing I would do different from what I just showed you. And with that, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a little something. If you did enjoy it, give me a like and a share. If you really enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel. In the meantime, happy farming, and I'll see you next episode.